The good news is that even though we cannot always control what goes on outside, we can always control what goes on inside. And that's the most beautiful story that we want to share with you today. So it's time to take control of our own lives and get our power back during this challenging time. And with that said, I want to welcome our first speaker, Leah Davidson, certified life coach. Leah lives in Canada and helps people to rebound their life after a concussion and traumatic brain injury. Leah will talk about the first step in taking your power back process, about feeling it all, and learning to process your emotions, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Welcome, Leah.
Thank you so much for the introduction. So we're living in pretty crazy times right now, and they're unprecedented, really. Many people are struggling with what's happening and struggling with how they're feeling and wondering how they should be feeling. I've heard people talk about being scared, being worried, upset, but I've also heard people talking about feeling calm and optimistic. So how should you feel? Should you feel anxious? Should you feel calm? If you are anxious, does it mean that you're more concerned than other people? If you're calm, does it mean you're stronger and more resilient? Or perhaps it means you're in denial or you just don't care. I want to offer to you that there's no one right way that you should be feeling. In fact, the way you should be feeling is exactly how you are feeling right now. We're humans, and as humans, we experience a wide range of emotions. We get to feel however we choose to feel. Everyone else, they're feeling exactly how they are meant to feel as well. What's important for us to remember is that all our feelings actually come from our thoughts. You see, life happens, events happen, circumstances occur in each of our lives, but we don't really feel anything about them until we have a thought about them. So understanding that all our feelings come from our thoughts doesn't mean, though, that we're never going to have negative emotions. Understanding that all our feelings come from our thoughts is important so that we can be empowered and know that we can be in control of our emotions. We get to decide how we feel. At times, we're going to want to feel sad or angry or anxious. We lose a close friend or a family member. We want to mourn. We have to cancel a wedding, a graduation, or a trip. We want to be disappointed. But we can also allow ourselves to feel optimistic and grateful when a neighbor picks up some groceries for us or a teacher stops by to drop some homework off. All our emotions need to be welcome, especially at a time like this. We don't usually have a hard time dealing with the positive emotions. It's the negative emotions that we struggle with. So first of all, did you know that a feeling is just a chemical coursing through your body? It's really just a vibration that goes through your body. And the best way to deal with negative emotions is to process them. So how do you do that? I'm going to tell you 3 quick steps that you can do to help process your emotions. The first thing is you're going to name it. You're going to ask yourself, what emotion is it that I'm actually feeling? Is it anxiety? Is it shame? Is it sadness? Is it fear? It's like it's coming out from the dark into the light, and the light is not as scary. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to find it in our body. Where is it centered? Sometimes we can feel it in our chest, in our core. Then we're going to ask, what does it feel like there? Is it a heaviness? Is it a pressure? Is it a buzzing feeling? You can actually try to visualize it. You can put a color to it, a shape to it. These are all ways to help us describe it. And lastly, you just want to allow it until it subsides. What does that mean? Well, you're going to name it. You're going to describe it. Then you're going to relax into it and just sit back and allow it to vibrate through you. It will come and go like waves on a beach. You'll feel it, you'll lean into it, then a few minutes later it may come back again. But it will reside, it will go back just like a beach with the waves. Keep going over and over doing that. Be willing to process it as long as it takes. It will lose its power as you keep processing it. Does processing it make it worse? Sometimes people worry about feeling it, thinking that they're going to make it worse, but it actually doesn't. Resisting emotions is what makes them worse. The most important thing to remember is all emotions are completely normal. We need to invite them all in. There is no one way you should be feeling. When you start thinking that way, then you pile on extra negative emotions. You may end up feeling anxious because you're anxious or stressed because you're stressed. There's no need for that. All emotions are normal. There's not one way or the best way. Allow them all. Thank you.